Is Avi Lewis a communist? I did some research about him. After watching the video, you tell me if you think he's a communist. Avi Lewis is a 58-year-old documentary filmmaker, former journalist, and activist from Toronto. He hosts shows on CBC, Citytv, and Al Jazeera English. He co-directed 2 documentaries with his wife, Naomi Klein. He co-founded the Leap Manifesto in 2015, a climate and economic justice roadmap that divided the NDP when it was introduced at their convention. He ran for parliament twice in British Columbia and lost both times. He has never held elected office, but on March 29th, he won the NDP leadership on the first ballot with 56% of the vote. Lewis comes from one of the most prominent democratic socialist families in Canadian history. His grandfather, David Lewis, led the federal NDP in the early 1970s. His father, Stephen Lewis, led the Ontario NDP and later served as Canada's ambassador to the United Nations. And his great-grandfather fled Eastern Europe after the Russian Revolution because the Bolsheviks came after the democratic left first. His family did not flee to Canada because they loved communism. They fled because communism tried to destroy them. So what does Avi Lewis actually believe? He calls himself a democratic socialist. That means he believes in democracy, elections, and a mixed economy, but he wants the government to play a bigger role in areas where corporations are gouging Canadians. He wants publicly owned options for groceries and telecommunications. He wants a national cap on rent. He wants a wealth tax on the top 1%. He wants a Green New Deal that would end new pipeline approvals and invest in clean energy. He wants tuition-free education and expanded public health care. None of his proposals involve abolishing private property, seizing the means of production, or overthrowing democratic institutions. That's what communism is. What Lewis is proposing is closer to what countries like Norway, Denmark, and Sweden have been doing for decades. Strong public services funded by a higher tax on the wealthy inside a democratic system with free elections and a market economy. That is not communism. That is democratic socialism. And whether you support it or not, it is worth understanding what the words actually mean before we start throwing them around.